I am what you would consider Afro-Latina. Oh, wait. Oh, you already did it? You gotta add your pickles. We finally moved the machine to the event and we're still coding while we're there. It's 10 minutes till start. It's a genuine concert, right? Genuine's in the background.
I didn't know Haitian food had it going on. I didn't know what to expect, I'm not gonna lie.
This is usually the reaction all the time.
Hola amigos, bienvenidos a otro episodio de TECH23. Y'all know this is where we talk about tech and culture. We're celebrating a very special flag today, la bandera de Haiti. The flag of Haiti, or the correct pronunciation is?
Haiti.
Haiti. We have a wonderful guest today. She is a fintech executive turned AI startup founder. I'm actually really excited to learn and have a really good time understanding what Boozed AI is.
Yeah.
And kind of learning about your journey. Most importantly, we want to know about Haitian culture. Can you tell us what is Boozed AI?
My name is Damyanna Cooke. I'm the founder of Boozed. We're an AI-driven cocktail making and dispensing system for brand activations and events. So what we do is we combine robotics, hardware, and software so that individuals like yourselves can wait less in line, but more importantly, like the brands that are converting over new customers, they have this new, cool, captivating element where they can add that to their events so that they can kind of buy over consumers, right?
We're here at your workspace.
Yes.
This is such a cool place to work, by the way.
It is.
I'm assuming it's different from some of the desks you work in the fintech space.
For sure.
I want people to find out of who Damyanna is.
I come from a mom who was born in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, and my dad is from Dominican Republic. So I'm from the island of Hispaniola. The whole entire island is typically what I like to say. I was born in Miami, Florida, and raised in Brooklyn, New York. My mom immigrated to the States in the 70s. My grandmother was the very first. She came here by boat.
One of the scariest immigration journeys into the US.
It really is. I'm so thankful, and it's part of the reason why I say I'm the American dream that they didn't get to finish, because they really laid the groundwork, being able to sort of make that journey for me to have the opportunities that I have now. They did a lot of first sort of newly immigrant jobs. So working at a sugarcane factory, working picking strawberries. My mom eventually went on to be a nurse and an Avon sales lady. And I think that's where I got my taste into.
Did she have a pink Cadillac?
I'm not a pink Cadillac, but she had the pink lipstick and the red fire engine red lipstick is what I remember from my mom growing up. Yeah. So that's where I got my first taste of entrepreneurship. Actually, was through my mom and also my dad. So my dad grew up in Miami as well. His family is actually from St. Thomas, and they migrated to the Dominican Republic, and then he eventually made his way to the States. So I am what you would consider Afro-Latina on both sides, right?
Yes.
And so I got to learn a lot about both cultures, but I grew up primarily with my mom, who is of Haitian descent. So I speak Creole, parle Kreole, and I also speak Spanish, because you cannot grow up in Miami without
Sin
hablar español. And it took me a long time to kind of understand my Dominican side. I didn't really come to know that until I got to college. But both worlds are so similar, so I don't feel like I missed too much of a beat throughout that whole time. I got to really pick back up.
Was it like picking up Spanish kind of tough? Or
I would just say the different nuances and culture, so learning bachata.
There you go.
Learning merengue,
Gotcha.
right? And so I would say salsa is still kind of like my weak point, but I'm good at bachata.
We are here today at Blodgett Hall. It is the home of not the number 2, not the number 3, but the number 1 Haitian restaurant in Houston called Sonia's Creole Kitchen.
Yeah, Sonia's Creole Kitchen is like home away from home for me. Sometimes mom doesn't answer. I go straight to Uber Eats.
Well, I know that Miss Gigi and Miss Sonia brought us some special dishes today. So let's take a taste.
Okay, so for sure you're gonna have your dili jonjon. I think she explained
you're gonna have to teach it.
Dili jonjon.
Jonjon.
Dili jonjon.
Okay.
So this is the mushroom-based rice.
Out of our options, which one do you pick?
I'm always Malta. See if you can twist it.
Is it? Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not a twist off, she's just that strong.
Just super strong.
And I'm gonna go with kiwi strawberry.
Ready to dig in? Oh, wait. Oh, you already did it? You gotta add your pickles.
That alone already has so much flavor.
It has flavor, but we're gonna take it up a notch. Where you add some pickles, this is the best part of the dish. We typically add this on
Miss Gigi said it had habanero, so.
Yeah, it's habanero. And it's cabbage, I believe, as well, and carrots. So good. It's spicy, right? So good.
You know how to make all these dishes?
My mom always had me do what's called pile épices.
Okay.
I would be on the side of the kitchen while she is scaling fish or making the beans and the rice, and she always called me to come pile de épices. And so épices are traditional base that's equivalent to sofrito, or like kind of like a seasoned base that you would make. And it has like green peppers, red peppers, scallions, garlic. I mean, some people put thyme in it, like all kinds of variations of it. But essentially, you just mash all of the seasoning together, and that starts the base of all of Haitian cooking. I mean, I use it for everything. I put épices in my eggs, I put épices in everything. Haitian traditional dishes take a lot of love and a lot of time.
Good.
So in this day and age, I don't have that much time to make traditional Haitian food, but I can throw down a little bit. Yeah.
The rice is absolutely delicious, and it's not called rice, it's called
Dijon.
Okay, Dijon. You grow up here and you're learning both languages. What did you want to do in high school? And did that lead you into tech, or were you in high school wanting to do something totally different? So
this is my long journey back to technology. And in that journey, Oracle came to my high school. Selected 5 students to do HTML coding, and I was one of 5. So that's when I got my first kind of taste into sort of coding. And I was pretty good at it. I was really good. I really enjoyed it. Ended up getting a phenomenal opportunity, 4-year full tuition scholarship. I'm first generation. My mom doesn't speak too much English, right? I understand that I have to go to college, but I don't know how. And I have this innate thing in me that's saying, I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to like change the world.
I have it written on a couple of journals.
Right, exactly, right, exactly.
Cambié el mundo, actually, I have it in Spanish.
Nice, very nice. But very long story short, I did that HTML class. I went off to college. I went straight into the computer science department. I thought I was going to major in computer science, and I walked in and I was like, there's no women, and there's no people of color. I was like, I'm going to go this way. And so I went to hang out with people that sort of looked like me. I went to a predominantly white campus. It was only 3% of us. It was in Greencastle, Indiana, right? And so I went to understand who I was as a person first. So I ended up majoring in sociology. I wanted to understand how I show up in the world. I wanted to understand what does it mean to be sort of Black and Latina. At that time, I didn't have an understanding of what that meant. And so it was really important for me to kind of backtrack and understand what that meant for myself before I go into coding.
In those 4 years, did you get your answer, or is it an answer that's still?
I did, I did. And this is why I'm so excited when you asked me to do the podcast, because I think so many of us are confused around the difference between ethnicity, race, nationality, but then even more when you kind of delve deeper into what you guys are doing with TECH23, which is so great. When you pick Haiti, most people don't consider Haiti to be.
Yes, and we can talk about that for sure.
About being Latin, Latino. So that was one of the reasons why I wanted to learn. So as I went through sort of the census and questions, you know, a lot of these things starts when you're about 18 years old. How do you identify? Who are you? I would often check off Black, and then it says Hispanic or non-Hispanic, and I'm like,
pues hablo español.
Yeah, like, am I Hispanic? Am I not? So for a long while, I was only checking Black because, you know, my mom's from Haiti and my dad is Afro-Latina. His birth certificate says Black. So, but then I was missing out on the other side of my identity and who I was. And so it took me a while to kind of understand that. My favorite is the legume. I do a different trip. I take my legume and I put it on my plantains, and then I put my pickles on top.
Because I always mess up here. I'm gonna watch you do it, and then people get mad at me that I did it the wrong way.
So I normally don't order mine with rice. I order it with plantains because I like to eat it like this.
And then what else did you? Oh, you.
And then your pickles on the top. And so this would almost be like an appetizer for me. Cheers. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, you can feel the strength of the Haitian culture in that.
I really, really appreciate food that's like bold and flavorful. Because some cuisines aren't like that much.
Right.
Which is so interesting to me now that Haiti has a French in its history.
Yeah.
Because some of the French food I've had, I'm like, where's the flavor?
Yeah.
So I'm glad you guys fixed that part.
For sure, for sure.
All right, so then you graduate with honors?
It should have been with honors, not quite. I think I really learned what college was about by the time I made it to senior year. I was just like, it's hard. You have no one to kind of look back to, you know, your parents don't speak English, and so you're learning as you're going. The good thing is, I got honor from the streets of my mom and everyone else. I ended up joining a black sorority on campus. And
Which one?
Delta Sigma Theta.
Okay, nice.
Delta was the only historically black sorority that had a chapter in Haiti. And I was like, I can relate to this, because I was like, I can't imagine my mom like going like, ooh. So I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna pledge Delta. I was like, that's what it is. And so I met this really incredible group of women that I talk to this day, and that's kind of what got me through my college journey. That and Posse. I had good grades, but I wasn't like super top of the class, right? But I made it through because my parents sacrificed so much. Because I had that in front of me, it was like, I gotta get through this. But the realistic story is that it is a really hard journey for a lot of us first generation Americans.
You don't know how you're messing up. Maybe to other people it's very clear you're messing up, but you're like, I just don't know, or you don't really know where to ask. So we actually later on went to open up a nonprofit called First Gen, where we were helping first generation college students. We focus actually a lot on soft skill training, because unlike the textbook stuff, you just got to put in the work. There's no way around that. You just got to sit there and read it. But a lot of what we used to call, like, there's a hidden curriculum that nobody teaches you. Like, do you know who the dean is? Do you meet with your professors? Those are the things that really propel you forward. We role played a lot. Because some of the most terrifying things just a first gen student is like going to a networking event and feeling like you have value. And how do you go break in a circle that clearly nobody looks like you, and you do it confidently, and you leave them with like a desire to like want to learn more about you.
For sure. And I'm so thankful to the Posse Foundation. They really sort of trained us for leadership skills. That sort of like hidden curriculum. I had Posse to kind of couple that with me, which was so awesome. I was on campus with other students that were going through the same thing, so we got to talk about that hidden curriculum a little bit. I ended up being the president of the Association of the African American Students on campus, and I was also on the president of the university's cabinet. And so I took on a huge leadership sort of like role when I was an undergrad. I had to navigate all those challenges myself, and being at a predominantly white campus, a lot of things come up. So you know how that goes.
Yes, I do.
The great thing about the turkey is that now you get to try our sauce.
Oh, yes.
And so this is a traditional sauce that's made out of pâte tomate. Yeah? Okay. So pâte tomate is tomato paste. So typically you pour this over your rice. So you have your sauce, and we'll grab some turkey.
One of these, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would have thought that was chicharrones.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Okay,
then you're gonna, I just pour this over here. You're about to take your rice to the next level now.
Okay, that is so good.
It's really good.
I can't believe this is turkey.
It's turkey, fried turkey. So much flavor, right?
I've never had turkey like this.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's really, really good.
Really good.
Yeah.
So everything is with that épice, that magic épice. If you can get that to start your dish, you will always have food that tastes like Haitian food.
So far, I think the turkey is my favorite.
Your favorite?
Just because I've never had it like that before.
Like that before. Okay.
You go on to also have extraordinary fintech career. So after having all this awesome corporate experience, what made you leave corporate to become an entrepreneur?
Yeah. It's a little bit of a journey. When Lehman went bankrupt, I ended up working for the subsidiary for 10 years thereafter, and then eventually transitioned to FIS Global, and that's how I made the move to Houston. And so I was working for FIS Global, which is a prominent fintech company, and so I ended up doing that, and then the pandemic hit.
Yes.
I am a mom of two during this time, right? Family life had transitioned, and during that time, I reflected back on the idea that I had for booze back in 2016.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so I ended up planning my wedding and thought if I had a robot that can build this for me and like do it, it would make offering alcohol so much easier. So I spent all of those years writing everything out. So if you can imagine, I'm a working mom managing a team of 10, I'm senior director, and I have this idea that's just like, when are you gonna start? When are you gonna start?
So
and
you just didn't bring your crown today, right?
I did, I left that at home, right? And so the whole time, you know, you really start to think about like, man, what do I wanna teach my kids? You know, what do I wanna teach my daughter? I think about who I was when I walked in that computer science department as a woman and not seeing myself there. I need my daughter to see me in spaces that she can believe that she could become. So now she tells everyone in her kindergarten class that my mom builds robots. She absolutely loves it. And so I ended up leaving corporate America. I've been gone since 2021. And in that time, we have built Booze, which you see here today. Do you want to try the chicken?
Yes,
okay, let's try the chicken. Let's try chicken.
All right, I grabbed this piece.
Okay.
Same process?
Same process. So pick your rice, put that over it, pour some of your sauce.
Generous amount of sauce.
Yeah, and if you want pickles on top of it again, the flavors just start to compound after a while.
Okay, the chicken now.
Same as your turkey.
I can't believe I waited this long to have Haitian food. It's so good.
That's what most people say. Like, I was watching this one video that was like, why did no one tell me about Haitian food and how good it is?
This is delicious. You're planning your wedding and you have to figure out all the tias and tios that you got to invite. But yours, it's like helped you spark the idea for Booze. How was that? This was a celebration of my journey. This was almost like the second coming of age, especially for women, if you think about it at this time. I went from, you know, being first generation child, like I went to college, I did everything that I was supposed to do. So now I'm getting married and I want to celebrate this in the right way. And then you start to look at the contracts and you're like, wait a minute. You're like, this is really expensive. There were really only two options. Either one, you do it yourself, which means you have to purchase all of the alcohol, calculate how many bottles to bring, hire bartenders, or you pay this really high marked up price and you go into contract with the venue who has the liquor license. And I was like, there's nothing in the middle. If I had a robot that can just do the calculations, dispense it all, this would be easy, right? And so that's where the concept of Booze came from. And I immediately went to like napkin the idea out. And I remember when I thought about it, I started shaking. I was like, this is the one. Because as founders, we go through so many different ideas. And so when this one kicked off, I was just like, it won't be here at my wedding. However, I'm going to make sure it happens for someone else's wedding. So instead we had robots on stilts. So I had a robot anyhow. You're like, also at the end of the wedding, this is a friends and family round.
Right, like, exactly. I should have.
Now that you had a couple of drinks.
Right, I should have.
The grand finale.
The grand finale is Kreole. This reminds me of every child's like first communion. You knew your mom was in the kitchen like days before, prepping the Kreole, getting it ready. Every cousin, every aunt and uncle's gonna be there. And I grew up, you know, in Miami, Catholic, you know, raised, because that's pretty big in the Haitian culture. And so I went and did my first communion, and I can smell the Kreole that morning, and I was just like, this is gonna be amazing. And so you have the party, and so Kreole is like one of our most popular and famous dishes. It is fried pork, so chicharrones, right? Similar, but of course we make it slightly different. So go ahead and grab yourself.
Yeah, these pieces
I like
look
the
amazing.
pieces that have the fat on it.
Okay,
like,
I got one of the fatty pieces.
Yeah, I'm all in on the fatty pieces of Kreole.
Down the Kreole.
The Kreole. This is when we do the happy dance.
The flavors are so bold and in your face and delicious.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Good, awesome. I'm so glad you like it.
This beat out the turkey. But they were all really good.
Kreole is like top notch. It's top notch.
Show us how it works. I'm so excited.
So this is Eve, and she's our very first model. One of the things I kept saying to the engineers was I wanted it to be less robotic, so less Wally and more Eve.
That's what I thought.
This is,
Eva.
Right. But the best part is the software integration for our brand managers. So if you come over here, and you take a look at our web app, essentially you go through the process of setting up a profile. You then place your order drink. So you have two options. Our signature first drink, which is the district. It's based with passion fruit and pineapple. And passion fruit for us, why this was our first drink, is because passion ties with startup and technology. So you order via the web app, you go ahead and submit your drink order, you walk up to the machine, you scan the QR code, we have a cup sensor right here, you go ahead and place your drink on the cup sensor and it automatically dispenses in less than 15 seconds. So now we're gonna make you a drink, and we created this drink using Haitian Babanco rum.
Damyanna, thank you so much for the rich, bold and spicy, which I really appreciate the experience of that food.
Yeah.
Estaba super rico. There's a big chance you haven't tried Haitian food, and trust me, you gotta try it. So I absolutely love the food and the culture, and I can't wait to learn more now. I mean, you said January 1st, I need to show up to the party?
January 1st, you have got to show up to the party. Every Haitian is up early morning. We are making soup jumeau to celebrate Haitian independence.
And that is pumpkin soup.
It's a pumpkin-based soup.
Okay,
yeah,
perfect.
It includes everything, vegetables, meat, all kinds of things.
Perfect. So I absolutely loved it, and I'm so happy that we made the decision to include Haiti as part of Latin America, because this is totally Latino vibes and everything that we're doing. Can we cheers to failure? You probably have some like horror stories that now you look back and laugh at.
Oh, for sure.
What are some of those?
Oh my gosh. We did a 3-day pilot program with Tito's in Austin. The first 2 days went great, amazing. The third day, Tito's wanted us to change some of the software code. So we did it remotely, and then the entire web app stopped working. So we literally had the machine on a U-Haul truck with an extension cord outside of the venue for hours, just coding, trying to like get it all together. We finally like moved the machine to the event, and we're still coding while we're there. It's 10 minutes till start. It's a genuine concert, right? Genuine's in the background, and I'm like, they're coming in 10 minutes. The software developers, I mean, it is hilarious, pressure, typical startup story, and 10 minutes left. In that last moment, I made the founder call. I'm like, we're going manual. So what we ended up doing is we moved out the web app completely from the process, and we had this whole stand. And so every time someone placed it here, like Houdini in the background, we were like, up, enter. So they had no idea.
Code works.
It works. So they had no idea that we were playing Houdini in the background. But as a founder, you got to do what you have to do, you know? Like there's always like failures in like the software system, but we had a backup plan just like on our feet, so it was good.
What is the AI part of the machine?
Everyone always asks that question. From the context on the end user and from our customer, it's predictability around inventory management, it's predictability around sort of a lot of things in terms of brand identity, like how are their consumers engaging with their product, and is it converting over to sales?
I want you to think, we're in 2024 right now. A few years down the road, it's 2030. You are right next to Eve 5.0 at this point or something, as the cover of a big tech magazine.
Oh, wow.
What is the headline?
Oh, wow. The headline is, it's going to be Events Reimagined.
Okay.
That's how it would be. So if you think about the way that we interact with like going to the airport, it's so different than it was 10 years ago. Now you go into the checkpoint and you can use the kiosks, but the event space has been untapped for a little bit of time. And so now you bring in a booze machine that gives you a total immersive experience. You can set up your profile and take control of your own wants and desires to drink, maybe even take control of your own sobriety.
When you say sobriety, from my point of view, we drink on social occasions. I'm big on tequila and mezcal just because I got a rep. I've seen a trend of people going less alcohol and more just things with mushrooms, things with just a variety of different things. Is it just young people, or is it like adults too? Yeah,
it's adults too. Surprisingly, I've kind of like moved on that train as well. I drink, but I don't drink as often. The conversation in terms of marketing right now is drink responsibly, right? Gen Zers are not drinking as much as prior generations, right? They're very health conscious. And the great thing about booze is that we are an automated beverage dispensing system. So we can do mocktails, we can do cocktails, we can do infused water. So we don't want to just be like, oh, this AI machine that's just gonna pump you with drinks. No, that's not the purpose. Yeah, that's not the purpose of booze. The purpose is to kind of put you in a place where you get to leverage technology for celebrations and events the way that you choose to do it.
Got it. Damyanna, thank you so much. This was absolutely great. Again, I'm excited because we have some leftovers, so we're gonna eat some of these. But any final words for anybody watching? And remember, our audience, it's Latinos in tech or people wanting to get into the tech industry.
I would say remember your parents' American dream, right? I think that's been my guiding light of you know, what was the purpose when they came here to kind of get us a better life. And it's just about passing the baton, and the way that you pass the baton on to the next generation is by showing up. That's been my mantra, is that you just keep showing up. You show up for your dream, whether it's on a YouTube channel and you want to just learn. You show up by reading a book. You show up by learning the new industry you want to pivot into. And then when the right opportunity comes, you show up for that too.
Well, amigos, this was an episode celebrating the flag of
Haiti.
We have a lot of love for you guys. If you want to get into tech, here is an amazing, badass role model, an Afro-Latina, half Dominican, half Haitian. Thank you so much for your story and for really introducing us to some of my new favorite dishes.
Oh my gosh, awesome.
Amigos, hasta la próxima. Thank you so much. Adios.
Adios.